Welcome to the Elite Podcast, where we discuss business, family, and life. Now, welcome to your hosts, Mr. H. Rod himself, Henry Rodriguez, and Ryan Arditi, the SCV MVP.
All right, podcast world, we are back with the exclusive Elite Podcast. It's your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez, and as always, I'm with
It's your boy, the SCV MVP.
All right, Diddy. Another episode, man.
Finally.
Loving it.
Kind of miss you.
I did a tiny bit.
And I miss the voice.
All right, before we get our guest speaker, let's bring in the voice and let's talk about New Year's Eve. Kidding, Ryan. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions. How about that? Because New Year's Eve is a sensitive subject for the MVP right now. We won't talk about that, but let's talk about New Year's resolutions. So, Voice, you and I are in the thick of things of 75 hard.
Sure.
We're bashing Ryan because he committed to nothing for a New Year's resolution.
3 days hard.
3 days hard. But let's talk a little bit about 75 hard if you could please indulge us with it. How's
of course, man. Right now, I don't even know what day I'm on, I should say. And I did start over because I had turf toe. So it sent me back about the first month. It took me 28 days to recover before I could start getting into the 2 workouts a day. But I did find a love for getting into kettlebells.
Okay.
Also band work, a lot of push-ups.
How much weight on the kettlebells? At least 35?
I have a 25 pound.
Okay.
But, my muscles look good.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
You do look good.
The lady weight. I got it. Okay, cool.
Okay, drill bar.
So now you're like 120 day hard.
Man, I don't even count on the days anymore, to be honest with you. Now it's just such a habit, and it's what I do. It's who I've become. My son actually jumped on it as well too.
Super cool.
He made it to 28 days. Props to him. For a 14-year-old to be committed like that was great to watch him.
Ryan, commitment to something like that for 28 days.
So I got a question. Hold on.
Yeah.
Does this mean you're going to be hard all year?
not blue pill hard, but we're gonna stay hard.
Okay, stay hard.
I wasted too much time in this life, so yes,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely taking things a little bit more serious now, and I plan on living.
And you do take
of
it sometimes
discipline.
almost too serious, right?
We're
right?
gonna have bunko games at the Voice's house.
One thing that I think is really cool that you actually just are always honest with yourself, man, is you restart if you do like miss a day or you have a cheat day or you don't get your second workout. Because I think most people would not just restart. What kind of mental state are you in when you're like, oh man, I've done it for 11 days. I have to restart. Like the clock starts again.
It doesn't do anything to me.
Okay.
Because it's just what I get up and I do. And leading up to January 1st, I did that cleanse, right?
Yep.
Through December. December 1st to December 30th was absolutely clean eating, straight program, workouts, the whole nine. Lost 16 pounds during December, so that way would catapult me into the new year. And I got thrown a curveball with the toe thing.
Yep.
But it didn't stop me. And in the past that would have stopped me. And when I take a look back and a step back, it's just that's what the 75 hard has taught me. It's the mental toughness, and it's not so much about doing it in consecutive days. It's just winning every day.
So
I get up every day to win the day.
It's about the journey.
It's about the journey, man.
Love it.
And
I love it.
And to be honest with you, my biggest hurdle through the whole program was drinking.
Yep.
Right. We're in the real estate world and we're all drinkers. But since I've been so committed to this program for, let's call it the last 2 years, I have a new relationship with alcohol. I still like to let my hair down in Mexico, Vegas, but just
He
outside
reminded me that every time he drank last year, the 3 times he did, it was with me.
Jeez Louise.
I
think we met drinking, Voice.
Sure.
So did we.
I got to get to know you all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
I love you.
Now I just put my white pants on and I get to town when
for us it was love at first sight over shots. So I should remember that.
Absolutely.
And this year for me, as this is our 4th year doing it together, our 75 hard. For me, it was more about like getting over the hurdle because I went through some challenges in October, November. You were there with me.
Yep.
It's just really making sure that like I just feel optimal and I have accomplished that already. So now for me, it's like I'm at a crossroads actually because I feel so much better. Do I want to go back once I complete 75 hard into your normal day-to-day drinking?
Yes.
I am really
Yes.
I'm really at a it's a challenge for me.
Sure.
I am really at a crossroads. Like I feel the best right now because I'm supplementing well. I'm not eating the best, but I am doing my workouts. I'm doing the reading, and I just feel amazing.
Okay,
So I'm
this
at a
is
crossroads
enough
right
about
now.
you two guys. Can we
Are
move
you
forward now?
Mr. Irrelevant, Ryan
Jeez
Arditi.
Louise, 875 days hard, dude.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Ryan?
we're switching gears. What are you doing, Ryan?
Well, staying positive. I mean, I think, look, I admire you both. I think it's smart. You got to take care of your body. You
Yeah.
got to feel right. You got to mentally be strong. I'm doing all the same thing, going to the gym, eating right. Don't drink as much because my friends here aren't drinking.
Because he doesn't have any friends anymore that drink.
I'm drinking by myself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Yeah.
I admire you both a lot.
Appreciate
You know
that,
what I
man.
mean?
So for me, it's been a large part of who I am about, just doing these. I actually look forward to 75 hard because I go hard the other way from like October through December.
Sure.
That I actually look forward to January of just eating better, the zero drinking, getting great sleep,
Yeah.
that kind of feeling great in the morning.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we should add to this before we get off the topic of 75 hard is just that we have done it for the last 4 years, and the reason being, number one, is the momentum swing.
1,000%.
So you start January 1st, you're done about March, April. That first quarter right there is taken care of, and that momentum will carry you throughout the
100%.
throughout
Well, I
the
mean,
year.
that first quarter of the new year is so critical to me moving forward that's why I do it every single year, because it assures success and the highest level of success because I'm so mentally clear, no brain fog. The critical thinking is on another level. Problem solving is like easy to me. Step aside, Biden, let me run this country. Like that type of level of thinking
Yes, sir.
is how I feel right now. So,
But I still got to see you on a billboard
And you still gotta
everywhere I
see me on a
go.
billboard.
This does not change at all. Doesn't change at all.
But yeah, man. I feel great, and that first quarter for me just assures success, like I know it does for you, and more importantly for our families, right?
Absolutely.
Because what we do every single day is setting up for success. Not necessarily for me, it is for me as well, but more importantly for my family.
Absolutely. That's
so-
what we're doing it for.
Yeah. All right, baby. All right.
Wow.
You wanna-
Should we stop the podcast? Jeez Louise, man.
All right. He's jealous already. So let's switch gears to one of my favorite subjects is baseball. And boy, what about them Dodgers, baby? Dude, we got Ohtani.
Yeah.
We got Yamamoto.
Yeah.
We got the homegrown boy Glass now pitching.
Woo-wee.
We re-signed Kershaw.
I mean, at this point, we can add Jesus. I don't even know if we're gonna win. Okay,
Wow.
like I'm just saying. I love the Dodgers.
Dude.
I love the
We still have
Dodgers.
Freeman and Mookie,
I
dude.
love the Dodgers, but who are the last 5 World Series? The Rangers,
all
the
right.
Nationals.
I have to
I can't handle
defend
it.
my
I
squad.
can't
Okay,
handle it.
hey,
I can't handle it.
yes, we won the asterisk World Series in
We played
2020.
30 games and won the World Series.
Hey, the 2 years before that we made it to the World Series, we were robbed by the Astros and the Indians. So we made it to the show. We got robbed twice.
How are we
The
robbed?
third time, they cheated. The Astros cheated.
If we can't win because they steal a sign, are you kidding me
here
right
we
now?
go.
Come on.
Man. All right.
Come
You know
on.
what? This is our year. It's gonna wait. You know what?
I'm rooting for us.
How about? Okay, I do think we're gonna have a great year. Will we win the World Series? I don't know because I think it's unfair to put all this talent and just give them a season and make sure you win it this year. I think it's unfair to anybody. It needs to like over a year or two they will win it. I'm not sure if they'll win it this year. What do you
Okay, we
think?
have a professional athlete with us right now.
We do.
Winning
Maybe-
is everything.
Maybe we'll get his
What
2
are you
cents.
talking
We'll
about, man?
ask a professional.
H-Rod is talking about not winning?
No.
Am I missing
We
something
will
right now?
win, and we're gonna win a lot. But it takes a lot to put all this talent together to win it all. We're gonna win a lot by a lot every single game, but to win the championship, it takes a lot.
Is this the same guy?
I don't know. Give us some. You gotta let it marinate sometimes. But with that being said, let's bring in our
Yeah,
professional
we finally got one.
guest speaker for the day, Mr. Taylor Statham. What's up,
Good to
brother?
see you, sir.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks for coming on the podcast, man. Hey, you know what? Since we're on the subject already of sports, what do you think about what I just said? Like just bringing this level of talent to one team and having a manager. We call it a manager in baseball, not a coach, right? But just hey, put it all together and go win it. And you're required to win it this year. Is that fair?
I think just from a professional standpoint, I feel like that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
I feel
Thank
like
you.
that's why so many people
Thank
hate
you.
on LeBron James. They expect to get LeBron and
And win it.
All the free agents who come with him and all the all-stars, and just you're going to throw them together and that's it. And there's just so much more to sports.
Chemistry. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the Dodgers, it's been 10 years.
No, it has not.
Okay.
It's been 3 years since we won it.
No, 10 years and we've won one time. We won the champion or the division title.
A professional speaking
But
right now, Ryan.
we're also in LA where it's like, if you play any type of sport, you're under such a microscope.
Oh, for sure.
Like
for sure.
basketball-wise, how many all-stars has Los Angeles Lakers, ran out of town and they're like, man, I didn't know what I was asking for going there. I'd never want to go back.
Right. No,
pressure,
for sure.
right?
For sure. All right, so we'll switch gears, Taylor. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
So I'm just a local guy. I played at Golden Valley High School right up the street. This isn't a disclosed location, is it? I'm not snitching you guys out, am I?
Hey,
My bad, my
I ain't
bad.
saying nothing.
I didn't say anything
We ain't
either.
saying nothing. Nope.
I love
nope,
Golden Valley,
nope.
man. I love Golden Valley.
Yeah.
I do.
You have a lot of passion.
I do, and we
Yeah.
could use you, man. We got a Men of Tomorrow program out there, a mentorship
There you
program.
go.
There you
go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love to get
Yeah.
you out there.
What is that exactly?
So it's a bunch of men out here in Santa Clarita. We got like 8 of us, and we have about 52 kids, I believe, that are just let's call it struggling. That just need some mentorship. They show up every month. I show up every month. It's my favorite day of the month, and we get together, we sit down, we chop it up, and it's amazing. I usually get the athletes just because. The lady who pairs us up knows that I played in high school, so it's been the last 3 years, and I will always remember the first time I told the kid that I was going to come to his football game, and he told me, "Please show up," because my dad always tells me he's going to show up, and he never does.
Oh,
Damn.
And that was like when the light bulb went off, and
Yeah,
it was just
man.
like
That's tough.
You have to show up.
No, you
at that
yeah,
point,
yeah,
His
your
dad's not a
word,
buffalo.
your word, right? It means a lot to these kids, and they don't know what it's like to have a parent or a mentor that shows up for them all the time. So I take it very, very.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, Taylor, I'm sure you do a lot of mentoring in what you do. You played. Before we get into the mentoring, why don't you tell us a little about your professional basketball career?
Yeah, so I mean, back to what I was saying. I'm just a local guy. I ended up playing 6 years professionally in 13 different countries.
Okay. So
all over Asia, Europe, all the way back here to Canada, close to home. And yeah, man, basketball can take you amazing places. And that's kind of what I want to give these kids is like growing up, we didn't have anybody showing us the bigger picture or kind of mapping it out and telling us how to get there. And no matter if you are 5'8" or you are 6'8",
5'7".
He was looking at me.
5'7".
Right?
He looked
right at us.
5'7"
He
on a
looked
good
right
day.
at us.
5'7" on a good day. Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
No matter your background, whether your parents are involved in your life or not, we'll always find a way. The group that I have is an amazing group of coaches, local guys, who've played collegiately. Some have played professionally, have coached collegiately, have coached high school, all levels, and just from the ground up. We just try to build these kids up, and obviously we're gonna take them as far as we can basketball wise and give them the best shot possible. But more than that, the other 98% of kids that don't end up going to college, we use basketball as a mirror for life.
That's awesome.
And to teach them how to be strong young men and women and just good people in general.
Now, Taylor, I want to ask him. So you came from a basketball family,
Yes.
right? So your dad, your brother. So you were at it from the start, right?
Mhm.
What has kind of kept your drive going? Because a lot of athletes play high school, play college, and then they got to kind of figure out what they want to do. How have you continued to build that and keep that same passion?
For me, basketball was always life. Just watching my dad growing up playing, and studying at a young age. I remember being 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, just saying, man, I want to play all over the world. The NBA was one thing, like I want to play in the NBA, but I want to play all over the world and use basketball to travel and just touch so many different lives.
That's awesome.
And it's just cool. Like, decades later, as you grow up, a lot of kids, their dreams die. And, just that I just feel blessed every day, that I get an opportunity to live out that dream and really create just different avenues for different kids, just through my passion. They say it's not work if you love what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love what you said there, man. It's like you because you love what you do, dude, you're living the dream, and that I would say most people don't have that opportunity to do what they love for a living. You know what I mean? You said you travel all over the world and basketball's taking you everywhere. What's been your favorite country to play in?
Favorite country would be the Philippines,
Okay.
just because I'm actually part Filipino. So,
Okay.
like you were teasing him, he's what,
1/16
1/16?
Latino. 1/16 Filipino,
What are we
right?
talking about? Your new taco truck? What's it called?
Taco.
You sure you want to
Taco
say
Mitzvah.
that?
Taco
Taco Mitzvah.
Taco Mitzvah.
Taco
Coming to
Mitzvah
you soon.
coming soon by Ryan Arditi.
Partnering with Corn.
So my grandma was actually born in the Philippines,
Okay.
and it allowed me to just tap in with those roots, see a different side of the world, and just open my mind up to so many different things. And now, I was able to play for the national team, play in their professional leagues, play in surrounding professional leagues. So yeah. Philippines by far, it's like super physical, like 80s basketball. You guys would love it, especially
Okay.
the way you guys, talk crazy to each other.
No foul calls, right?
No,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
foul, no blood, no foul. for
Really?
sure, Yeah. The
Okay.
first game I ever played in,
Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman days
Yeah.
type
Oh, no.
basketball?
Yeah.
first game I ever played in, I walk in, it's 8,000 fans. I'm just like, and it's
Wow.
Wow.
it's not a huge arena where
Yeah.
there's the upper deck. It's just like a regular size
Okay.
arena.
That's a lot.
Maybe like COC, like no, bigger than COC, like twice the size. But anyways, there's people just going mad crazy.
Okay.
And even on the floor, like security keeps having to hold people back. And one of the first plays of the game, I go in for a rebound, and some dude turns, some big old dude. And I remember like, okay, he's gonna try to crack me. And
Was it Steve Tempest?
No.
Are there big old dudes in Philippines?
Oh, yeah.
There's
Wow.
big
No,
old
this-
dudes?
Hey, remember, dude? You're 116th, dude.
Latino.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, I go in. Long story short, dude cracks me in the mouth. My mouth is leaking, and I turn to the referee, and he's like, "I didn't see anything."
Really?
A couple plays later, same thing happens. He just hunts me down and just
Boom.
boom, and my shit is leaking. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss.
Go, man. It's
But-
the exclusive Elite
Say whatever you
podcast.
But
Taco
yeah,
Mitzvah.
so I looked at the referee, and he just started laughing. He's like, "You better get used to it."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right."
Different.
So long story short, I'm like, "All right, he's gonna keep doing this." So
You didn't flop like LeBron, dude? You didn't play those?
I tried. I tried. Acted like I was
LeBron
shy.
acted like he was dead, dude.
Yeah. But it was like a realization, like, dang, it's just me versus everybody out here. Like,
Yeah.
my teammates aren't gonna do anything. Like how I respond is gonna determine how people respect me or they
Yeah.
don't. So long story short, I go in, crash the glass again. I see him try to line me up, and at the time I used to do a lot of jujitsu. My family's like super into jujitsu, so I just like swam him and slammed him as hard as he could. And yeah, long story short, he ended up popping his shoulder out of place.
Ooh.
And
Did they call a foul on you?
so that's the thing. In regular basketball, they call a flagrant technical. You're
You're
out.
out.
It was just a loose ball foul.
Wow.
I like the Philippines.
That's pretty
okay.
cool.
That's what the morning runs look like for me.
All right, man. No, that's well, I do say that's a cool experience, right? Would you ever do it again?
Playing?
Yeah, in that type of environment.
Oh, yeah. We just went a few
I think
months
he just
ago.
went.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
how cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still playing
So in,
professionally, right?
in November,
Yeah.
I took a bunch of guys locally who I've known since they were 10, 11, 12. Took them to Manila. A lot of them, it was their first time out of the country. We played in Asia Basket.
Okay.
Made it all the way to the championship. We lost on the championship, unfortunately, but 4 or 5 of those guys ended up getting jobs from it and just using that platform. And they got to play in front of thousands of fans.
That's awesome.
They
That's
got
really
to
cool,
sign
man.
autographs. People were asking for
How
their pictures
cool.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
I was going to
Amazing
ask, when you went
experience.
to the Philippines and started your professional career, you didn't know anybody? You just went pretty much by yourself
trial
and
and
started a
error.
dream?
man,
And you
just-
had to try out, obviously, right?
So actually, the year before I trained one of my best friends at the time, Jahar Purdy, who went to Saugus. He went a year before I did, went to the Philippines, and it's extremely political out there. So he went through the process. I came a year later after I graduated, and he kind of showed me the ins and outs. But yeah, for the most part, like, it took me some years. Like there was times where I left the Philippines and went and played in Hong Kong, won a championship, won MVP, went to Thailand, won MVP, broke all the scoring records, went to Indonesia, won a championship. And then I'd come back to the Philippines, like, here and there. The Philippines is just like, man, it's a lot of stress. Like think of an HBO show with like the craziest like plot. there's just a lot of things that go on behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
That you can't control, right?
Yeah, I
Honestly.
mean, when I
Yeah.
played for the national team, like I walk out of my apartment and there's like a billboard with my face on it. You know,
Really?
like I'm Henry Rodriguez.
Oh no!
And then
I love that. I love that.
Thank you. I don't know about the compliment.
You look more Filipino than him, dude.
But he
I wasn't
didn't.
expecting that one.
Hey, but he didn't pay for that billboard.
Keep it coming.
no, but it was cool. It was amazing, just like seeing the fanatics. Because in America, you know, you go to a Los Angeles Laker game and everybody's just chilling, like, you know, it's just you're there to be
Yeah,
seen.
it's
You're
like a
there
vibe.
to take a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
selfie
yeah.
courtside. You know, when you're in the Philippines, they might run on the court and freaking tackle you. You know,
Yeah,
they might
man.
throw things at you from the crowd. You know, you may
It's different, huh?
you may get booed. You know, you walk around town, people are bombarded. Like my first date with my wife, you know, I had to take her to like some private. I had to rent out a place because at the time, everywhere we went, we were just everybody's asking for pictures, everybody's asking for autographs. So it's amazing, but it's just like, man, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
it's nice to come home. You know, at the time I'd come home and nobody would know who I was, so I could walk around and it was just
Two different worlds, huh?
two different worlds.
And you said you played for the Filipino National League or national team?
The national team.
Okay.
So at the time, I didn't have my dual citizenship, but 3x3 basketball is an Olympic sport now. So they picked me up for the 3x3 team.
Like in the Summer Olympics?
yeah.
How cool is that?
That's
So
pretty
like
awesome.
Jimmer
Yeah.
Fredette plays for Team USA. So like
Yeah.
I went to USA training camp last year in Miami, and I was playing with like Jimmer and a lot of those guys.
Very
It's
cool,
fun.
man. Very cool.
That is pretty awesome.
Chasing him around is crazy.
He's a shooter, right?
Oh
Yeah,
my
right?
goodness.
Shooter's gonna shoot. Hey, dude, I appreciate you sharing that. How cool is that? I mean, do you go to this day? If you go to the Philippines, are you still a celebrity?
Oh yeah, like the kids, you know, because they see me here and they're like, oh man, I've been having to hear this guy, you know, tell me what to do for the last 8 years, and then us being out there, they're like, oh my God, you're a celebrity. You know, everywhere we walk, they'd be like, stay dumb, transport there.
Oh, dang. Oh, I love that.
With the
That-
Summer Olympics coming up in Paris this year, are you gonna do the 3-on-3?
Man, so that's a sore spot.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
right. So they
just-
you
they
shouldn't have asked. You
We
should have
can
asked
move
before,
on.
dude.
They just had
We can move on.
The USA just had training camp like this last week, and I saw all my buddies there and like guys I've played against for years, and I didn't get the invite.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
You're
But
doing-
it's cool.
You're doing
I'm,
bigger
I'm
things,
like
man.
so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so
you're doing
busy
bigger things.
with
Yeah.
all this.
Well, you at? Yes. So on to bigger and better things,
exactly.
man.
Yep.
Let's talk about your local youth basketball program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Statham Academy, I started when I was actually in college. My brother was playing in high school. I was helping Jahar and a few guys get overseas, and then just started meeting some local kids randomly, and then just like their path kind of became my path, and I was just like, man, I never had a mentor like this who knew the proper steps. Like I had to make mistakes at every level, like. I didn't know how to get recruited, so I had to come up with emails and do my highlights and create a Taylor Statham website and send that out to a million schools and get on the phone. And, I was like a little salesman for myself,
Yeah.
at a young age. And then, just every level, like I would go into these workouts and get invited to these G League private workouts where it's like you and 20 guys and they're going to pick up 2. And I'd be the only guy without an agent, so I had to like learn my way around the business side. And, so even when I would go overseas, I'd be on top of the world playing and doing what I love, but I'd always feel a little guilty, like, man, I just know how much of a difference I can make back home.
That's awesome.
That's really cool, man. That's really
so
cool.
every summer,
The Buffalo's getting chills right
Dude,
now.
You're definitely speaking my love language, bro.
The Buffalo's getting chills right now for sure.
Hey, it's not that type of episode. Okay.
We might cry, man.
You might come over.
But I love that because it's not all about you. It's about changing the lives of
Yeah,
everyone else. And
sure.
coming back here and being able to be yourself and give back to all the kids I could see that's your passion,
Yeah.
right? Like
Definitely.
playing basketball in other countries is fantastic, and playing in the Olympics I'm sure is freaking amazing. But I bet
Yeah.
you at the end of the day, like your heart are with the kids and making a difference. I could tell
Definitely.
it's dope.
I want to say something about him, right? There's a lot of people that will train basketball or baseball or football. Like, I'm going to make you the best athlete. But I think he makes them better people. Like what you just said, like you teach them how to become recruited. How many kids out there don't know how to start the recruitment process?
Right.
And unless you're a 5-star, they might not even give you that
sure.
opportunity.
And
So
like
it says a lot.
right now, if you look, like the top 4 scorers in Santa Clarita aren't like the guys who are like man children. They're like floppy-haired white kids who train with me, or like, you know, like I have a 5'7" kid who's putting up
Looking at me again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have a shot. We have
We
a
got a
shot.
shot.
Hey, Ryan,
We have a
let's
shot.
go, baby.
you know, so like the obviously teaching them the skill, like basketball. I was talking to one of my friends who's a football player, and he was saying, if I take a caveman and you take a caveman and I teach him football, I could teach him routes in 4 weeks. He's like, in 4 weeks with basketball, he's not even going to know how to dribble. There's just so many aspects to it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing, but then building the human where they're self-motivated. And,
Yeah.
you know, like some of my players are in college now, and it's like, well, how are you going to be when I'm not around? And I'm not there to check up on you every single day.
Yeah. Well
know?
said in terms of the analogy. I think in football, you just have to be an athlete, right? But
For sure.
with basketball and in baseball, dude, it's such a skilled sport.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be, well, in baseball, you don't have to be an athlete. You know, Big Papi Ortiz, you know, what I'm talking about, guys like Manny Ramirez, guys like that. But,
Calling out names, bro.
Yeah.
but
Now they're not coming on our show.
they're so skilled, right? It's just a
Yeah.
skilled sport. So basketball is like, it marries both, you know, the athletic and the skilled sport, because you're totally right. You could train someone to play football in probably less than 4 weeks, right? Run a route, right? Got to be big and strong and fast. But basketball is such skilled, even just doing a layup or dribbling, you know, all that. It's just a skilled sport, you know.
Yeah.
So different level. But you know what? Let's definitely utilize our platform and see how we can help promote what you're doing, dude. Because the voice is obviously you struck a chord over here in terms of what you talk about giving back. Let's talk a little bit more about the program you're bringing on local youth as well, right? You talked about there's several events that you're actually working on here locally. So I'm gonna go one by one for them. Okay, so let's talk about Asia Basket first.
So I haven't really announced that.
Oh, we have a
You
premiere.
get
Wait,
it?
hold
You-
on.
you heard it
Hold
here
on.
first. Exclusive.
Exclusive?
Right, exclusive.
Yeah, so Asia Basketball we played in, they take a bunch of teams from Asia, professional teams. They play in a tournament before their domestic leagues or things like that. They want to bring it here to Los Angeles. So currently working with the city, trying to bring it to Santa Clarita.
Okay.
Just so we can have all those professional teams.
We
you
know a few people in the city. We got you, bro.
Good.
We got you.
Good. I've seen a couple, biggest names on here. So.
Yeah. I just ride with these guys,
yeah.
you know.
Ryan likes to ride coattails. We know that.
I've created my own path.
But yeah, so just being able to, like, I just want to do things that are just like dope for the community, you know,
Yeah.
and just for kids to be able to see, like, oh man, like, there's other ways in the NBA to play professionally, and like a lot of these teams that we're hoping to bring, they've signed Dwight Howard, Jeremy Lin.
I saw that. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So they're big. Like people think Asia basketball, but they don't really understand. Like most of my teammates who are American, like I was one of the only ones at time that that hadn't played in the NBA yet.
Mhm.
So it's still high level basketball. But yeah, just bringing that here to Santa Clarita, and then obviously, hopefully the business and, just bringing more light, it's showing on TV. Like when we were out there in the Philippines, it was on TV shown to 10 million people per game we had,
Wow.
and then online it's like, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching. So
Well, let's
What is
continue.
that? I wanted to ask, what does that look like? Is it a exhibition? Is it a tournament? It's 10 teams. Can you just kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
So it's a 10-day tournament, 10 teams, there's pool play, and then you guys go straight like to the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. And then champions crown. So we're hoping to bring in like, since it's here in LA.
Like it's coming to LA regardless.
Yeah, like six I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it done.
It's coming to
way,
Santa Clarita.
one way or
Yeah,
another.
Yeah. So like 6 teams, 6 to 8 would be from Asia. So like mostly Filipino teams, maybe team from Macau, Taiwan, things like that. I'm trying to get Ball is Life to bring a team.
Yeah, they're huge.
Just for like the content side of things.
cool.
Because they have like such amazing players that are signed with them that are professional athletes.
Could we see Dwight Howard or Jeremy Lin?
Yeah, let's
possibly
keep
come?
name dropping, man. It sounds
Is
like
there
you played some
anybody?
cool.
Is there anybody you guys know? Like, I'd love to have one of them as the face or the ambassador with all the strings you guys pull.
Tam Abdel.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for sure.
Yeah. You can have us.
Where do you see like I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. Like, where are you playing? Is it like at a high school basketball auditorium? Like, where can the city actually facilitate an event like this?
It would have to be an arena. So when we played, it was like, oh my goodness, it was like this huge arena in the middle of nowhere. It was like 10,000 seats in it. So I'm thinking as long as it's somewhere like COC,
Okay.
something like that. I was looking at West LA, CSUN.
Does Masters College have a?
think they're too small, right?
Masters
court or
is kind of small.
yeah.
COC has like such bright lights.
Okay.
You know,
So that would be the ideal
Yeah,
location.
So
Okay.
how many people they fill at COC? A good amount, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That thing would fill up though. Like we
We
would
got to
make
get the
sure-
voice on it. The voice
we would
got some
somehow
connections.
bring in like all of our kids, make sure they're at the games. You know, like really try to promote it to the local
Sure,
players so they
sure.
can, you know.
And I think one thing the city would be grateful for is all those people are going to use hotels.
Yep.
All those people are going to help small businesses. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a whole community of people.
Yeah.
How many people over that 10-day span? I mean, thousands, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
coming. So I think
Family, friends.
It'd be like a festival. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it kind
the
of is.
economic impact it would have could be huge.
we could be the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
MVP.
All right, so that's Asia Basket. So another event that I want to make sure that you share with is the 3-on-3 league. Tell us about that.
So this summer we are starting 3x3 league. Obviously, I'm deeply rooted in the 3x3 game. So I talked to USA Basketball about it before. They want to start more tournaments. So just trying to bring a local league here. I'm partnering up with Core Prep Academy. Core Prep is where a lot of Division I and current NBA players, you know, they went for their 7th, 8th grade year. And pretty much everybody that comes out of there is like top 10 or 20 in the state.
Wow.
You know, so they're gonna bring like kids from the valley. And it's gonna be competitive. You know,
Okay.
we're gonna start with the elementary, middle school kids, and then at the end of the summer have the high school kids play a tournament. I'm also hoping to have like adults play a tournament, maybe bring in a cash prize. Or,
Okay.
Can we do like a 5-7 and under league?
Yeah, we can.
Can we do that?
Just
Is that
for
cool?
Ryan.
Actually, a couple
The
years,
MVP league. The MVP league.
Yeah.
no, a couple
Most
years,
vital.
a couple years ago though, I threw a 3x3 tournament and had like a cash prize, and it was funny. Like some of the teams were like, you know, 5'6", 5'7" guys just trying to have fun, and then there's like teams with like professional guys that are like
Yeah.
6'8" dunking.
Yeah.
Taking it way too
Yeah,
seriously.
too much. Is that going to be through the academy or is that
Yeah.
it is? Okay.
Okay, that's awesome,
That's
man.
awesome,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right, so second to last event that I want to make sure you talk about is, and I know it's going to strike a chord with The Voice and one of our partner in crime, Tamer, as well, because you guys both have daughters and both of you guys like playing basketball. Is the all girls basketball camp? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I plan on doing an all girls camp, either toward the end of spring or summer. I just feel like there's not enough avenues for the ladies. Everything is driven more towards the guy side. I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes sense just because there's so many more guys interested. But Santa Clarita is like a hidden gem for really talented girls. Like there's probably 4 or 5 girls right now that could play at the Division I level.
Wow.
You know, a year, 2, 3 years from now. And then like another half a dozen that could play at different, you know, collegiate levels. And I just feel like there's not enough, exposure and just programs set up for them. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to kind of get girls under one gym competing, pushing each other, and kind of showcase that to colleges and just get them just more exposure. At the end of the
I
day.
like that because I help coach my niece with the city, and there's literally 6 teams, and there's a ton of girls that still want to play.
Yeah.
And they usually have to go to Mamba Academy or they have to travel pretty far to play. So if you could build that out here,
Yeah.
I agree. It could be
Like
a
all
mecca.
of the girls who play for us, they play for us for 1 or 2 years before going into 9th grade. As 9th graders, every single one of them have played varsity. You know, but I think like sometimes because there's other programs or girls, they want to play with their friends. So it's hard to get all those girls, like all the best girls, pushing each other. Because if they were able to do that in an off season,
Yeah.
it would just take like Santa Clarita girls basketball to a whole nother level.
That's awesome, man. And speaking of taking things to the next level, I just heard, man, that you signed a deal with New Balance. Is that right?
Dang.
Dude, that's huge. New Balance?
Appreciate it.
11 and a half.
We got famous people in
We
here
do,
right now,
man.
man.
Talk to us about the significance of that, man.
So again, it just gives us more opportunity to give exposure to these kids so that is through Creators Basketball. Creators is our AAU program we have out here starting from, ages 6 all the way through high school. And for years we've built kids up. Like we don't recruit whatsoever. We build local kids up. And obviously, people outside the city have seen what we've grown. So they end up flocking to it. But kids will get to a certain level, like Andrew Meadow, who's my prodigy. He's at Boise State right now. He's the one who took West Ranch and made them nationally ranked in the top 5 of the USA last year. He had like over 70 schools recruiting him.
Wow.
But he got to a certain point where it's like, okay, we don't have a team that's at that level, so we can't go to these tournaments. You know, so that's when we kind of pass him off to. He ended up playing for LeBron's team.
Strive for greatness, or,
Which I mean, I can't blame him for it's us or LeBron.
Yeah.
the fact that you were part of that journey, though, I mean, that just says a lot. You know, he's gonna remember that forever.
Forever.
You know,
Yeah,
forever.
For sure.
For sure.
Man.
I mean, but that's, ultimately that's what we do. I got him on the Israeli national team during COVID, and during COVID they flew him out there. He's playing with them. They wanted him to play in the European Championships with them. That's kind of, like we just create paths regardless if a kid is a 5-star player or whatever he is. And now with this New Balance deal, we get to go to all these different states and play in these big time tournaments.
Dude, you have a shot. The Israeli national basketball team?
Wow.
Ryan, let's go, baby. 5 for 7 dudes.
Taco mitzvah. I just want to piggyback on what he said.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
us three joke around a lot.
Yeah.
We give each other a hard time. But one thing we love is our kids and the future of this generation. And we're just as passionate about it, whether it's through his resources, his or mine. And what you're doing, it just kind of fits. So, I'm excited to see where it goes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So it sounds like this New Balance deal is going to mean a lot to you and your organization, dude, and more important to the kids that you guys support.
Definitely.
And we get Kawhi Leonard on the podcast, maybe. Maybe.
Can't promise
Come on.
anything.
So we're talking about like mentorships and things like that, man. So I want to wrap up this episode with asking you one of the last questions is, who is your basketball hero? Because I can tell you mine. I'm hoping it's the same for you, but who is your basketball hero?
Oh, man, that's tough. Can I give like my top 3?
All right, let's go.
First would be my dad.
Okay.
By
Nice.
far. Yeah. Just watching him, he like instilled the love and passion.
He played ball?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was really good. He was like,
He's balling right now.
he was the,
Yeah.
no, seriously.
he's
Oh,
balling.
seriously?
No,
Okay.
he is, literally.
I know, yeah.
63, still having like 20-point games at the City League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
I think he might
okay.
have played maybe.
It's just a
Nice.
mindset.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. No, he, just watching him play outdoors on chain nets, him being the only white guy talking the craziest. That's like kind of what I grew up on. And so him number 1 for sure. And then I have to go Larry Bird.
Okay.
Obviously being white, that's like our great. Like,
That's what
we
I
didn't
thought.
have too many guys.
That's what I thought as soon as you said it.
It's pre-Luka, pre-Jokic. So,
Yeah,
but just seeing,
the Joker? What's up?
just seeing the life he came from. And
He was
just
a
like,
legend, though.
Man,
Oh, yeah,
how tough
yeah,
he
for
was.
sure.
Couldn't
Yeah.
jump, right? Couldn't run.
Man.
Guy scores.
You put
40.
him in today's game though. He's doing everything Luka's doing and more. So
Is
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But
Do you think he could control the game like Luka though?
easily.
Yeah.
If
Easily.
you put Bird in today's era?
Easily.
Okay.
More space, less physical. Oh my God. He's
More
gonna kill-
3-pointers.
You
yeah.
can't even play defense these days.
Yeah, for sure. They were talking about that in the All-Star game, how like
Oh my
poor it
God.
was. Like how the whole thing is just it's a joke.
Yeah.
They scored like 200 points, something like
Well,
that. Like,
it's about ticket sales now. Like, they come up with all these rules, so the score is inflated.
Right.
So that's why you can't even pay attention to like stats or anything like that.
because
anymore.
they're inflated now.
It was like 183 pointers they shot.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like 183 pointers in the game.
That's crazy. All right, who's your
So
third?
who would be your last?
Third would be Kobe.
Yeah, the
I-
Mamba.
I grew up a Laker
Mamba.
fan. Got to watch all those championships.
Yeah.
Just just amazing just seeing what he did and just as a basketball player who had to overcome a lot of adversity, just using him and his mindset. Like I was telling you before the podcast, I used to be on YouTube all the time just looking up the Hate Me Now videos with
Yep.
like that Nas
Yeah.
song Hate Me Now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was just
Gonna hate me now.
it was just showing him like
Yeah.
yeah, it was showing him when he went through like his case and when the whole world hated
Yeah.
him and he lost everything and just seeing how he overcame it and just his mentality.
Yeah.
Just
It was funny. I was watching. My kids watch Kobe as well, and I tell them like they're like, oh, because they're 10 and 11 now, so they're all about their Jordan shoes. Man, it's an expensive hobby. I tell them all the time. But I tell them that Kobe to me, because I grew up on Kobe, is the greatest of all time for me. And I was watching one of the clips. He was so upset after a game, and I think a handful of his teammates were wearing his shoes.
Yeah.
And he goes,
I saw
"Take
that.
those off.
Yeah.
Take those off.
Yeah.
You don't deserve that."
Yeah.
I just his mentality, that next level, and he wasn't the most skilled, he wasn't the best, but he just outworked
Yeah.
everybody. There was anyone that was going to get there earlier or leave later than Kobe.
Yeah. It's funny you say that though, because one of our teams just went to Portland. And this is like one of our teams who's been with us for 7-8 years now. They're 13. They've been with us since they were 5-6. And they're nationally ranked, like one of our best player. He's like, one of the top guards on the West Coast. and they played really, really bad.
Mm.
But they've been walking around like, they're hitting that they're in 7th grade. They're walking around a little entitled and stuff. And so we like snapped on them. My partner Travis was like, "You guys are wearing Kobe's, but you're not embracing that mentality. You need to take those
I
off.
love that.
Wow.
You can't wear those
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't wear those.
You're not taking
You
the
gotta earn
game
those right
serious.
there. You
Yeah.
gotta earn those right there.
Love that.
Yeah.
One of the best Kobe stories is the Olympics with Pau Gasol when he ran through
when
the
he ran
screen.
through the
Oh my
screen.
God, that was amazing.
No.
And he
Oh, yeah.
said he called it
He
too,
called
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was like his
I
best
love
friend.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the guy was just for me as an inspiration. Whenever if I'm sure whenever any of us are going through challenges, for me, it's like for me it was my mom, and then I think about Kobe. It's just like, man, what would he do? You know, let's talk about one of our favorite Kobe memories. For me, it was the Achilles, or when he was on the sidelines playing the game, all iced up, and after the post game interview, it was like most players would have walked off. He's like, no, some family who could barely afford to be at this game is here today to see me play. I'm gonna play. And this dude had ice pack on his shoulder, ice pack on his hip, ice pack on his knees, but he was gonna play because of that family that could have been there to watch him play.
Yeah.
And for me, again, that's just the mama mentality.
And that was right before playoffs too.
Yeah. Oh, so
When
you
he
know
should
this.
be resting.
Yeah. Boys?
I would just say his very last game, I was at Schooners, and I mean, it felt like we were in the game. We were all there, and just to watch him go off one last time, and just, he exited basketball, but it was really just like the beginning for him.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see and be a part of that.
I think for me, I'm a little older. Well, we're almost the same age, but I grew up with
a
Kobe.
lot older.
I mean, Kobe was almost the same age as me. I mean, I'm 46. I think he would have been 46.
You can play with his dad, dude.
Yeah. Little Muxy Bows over here. I'm a diehard Laker fan, and Game 7 of the Celtics, we were losing. It was one of those games where teams weren't scoring. Kobe wasn't at his best. I think he was shooting 5 for 100. And what does he do? He buckles down and literally gets every single rebound imaginable. He had like 30 rebounds, right? And it just made me appreciate how great he was. He didn't have his best, but he did the things that he needed to do, and they won that championship. And to me, like when he was just throwing the ball in the air, that moment lives forever.
I love it, man.
You know?
Taylor, your favorite?
Just seeing that 81 as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane. And it was before, like there wasn't as many possessions in the game as there are now.
Right.
Like if there was, it would probably been like a 95, 100-point game.
Right.
3-pointers too, right? Wasn't as
Wasn't as prominent. He was just getting to pull-ups, hard shots, getting to the rim, scoring, dunking over people, and just seeing his resilience,
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Love it. And all right, so I want to thank you for coming on this episode. We really appreciate it, man.
Finally
Sharing your
someone
story.
famous, man.
So finally someone famous,
professional
man.
athlete,
There we go.
Jeez. Told you we delivered.
But I promised the voice that we were bringing this up. I just wanted to make sure that we also give a shout out to the Michael Hoffman Foundation and their upcoming event. Voice, please share with us what's going on.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And before I get started, thank you so much for stepping up and being one of our first sponsors of the event. And you
welcome,
were in
man.
charge of the photo booth. And when I took this on, you told me, let me know what you need. And I came right to you, and you delivered as always. So thank you for that. But on April 20th, the Michael Hoffman Foundation normally has a walk either at COC or at the complex. This year, they're doing it at Central Park, which is near and dear to my heart. And they've also incorporated the stairs, which is, you guys, most of the people know
The
that
Stair
is
Master.
the
Stairmaster. That's going to be his
Stairmaster.
Halloween costume.
Like literally the Stair Project is involved. We have volunteers, and we are still looking for volunteers. We're still looking for corporate sponsors as well too.
Nudge, nudge, Ryan.
Yes, and walkers, right? So it's going to be a morning of getting out to Central Park for a little 1 mile loop walk in support of children with cancer, right? I've been a part of this organization and sitting on the board since November. I'm going to not cry, but on
He tends to do that.
I know, but on
I like
February,
to cry with him, actually.
Yeah, on February 14th, we lost our first kid. Well, since I've been on the board,
Damn.
and his name was Caleb. I never got to meet him personally, but his family wrote a letter to us and asking for prayers and well wishes, and they were so strong, man. And I could only hope that if I'm ever in that situation, that I could be as strong as them. And they thanked our foundation for being there as a support and a light for them. And that just really made me know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path of what I'm doing. And I will do my damnedest to show up every day for Caleb,
that.
even though I never got to meet him.
Love that, man.
You're making a difference in our community,
That's
man.
awesome.
I appreciate
We
that.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right,
We're lucky
MVP.
to have this guy.
Yeah, we are, man.
And this guy.
Taylor,
We're lucky to have him.
the transporter. Thank you so much again, man. Ryan, sign us off, man.
Episode.
Don't matter, man.
I don't even know. We're on
Just the
fire.
exclusive EliteX podcast, brother. That's it.
My boy A-Trod, my boy Taylor, my boy The Voice. I'm your SCV MVP, and we're officially
Out.
out.
Woo.
Appreciate you guys.
Nice.
That was good.